Mother, I bring you fresh prey.
You are so kind to me, daughters. Now, let's take a look at him. What have you done to my daughter?
Leave it to Capcom to design and develop a game so enthralling, so captivating that a large fanbase of players wanted to side with the villains. The success of Resident Evil Village is partly due to the charismatic voice actors, the complex character arc developments, and the compelling interactions within the game design with interactive journals, voice recordings, and cutscenes. Not only does this game have intuitive controls and an immersive story, but fans have pleaded with the company to create a DLC just to explore the option of siding with one of the antagonists of this game. Before we dive in, let's consider for a moment the perfect recipe for a villain, as listed by Doug Lansborough from Dabble. 1. Believable motivation. 2. Proactivity. 3. Power. 4. Immorality. 5. Tragedy. 6. Madness. And 7. Empathy, which is optional. Remember these for later when we talk about the character developments of our villains.
Shit! Like I'd let you get away. You'll be sliced to ribbons before you ever see the child.
So the voice actors of Resident Evil Village, mainly the voice actors for Karl Heisenberg and Lady Dimitresque, are both wildly magnetic, pun intended, with major talent for conveying emotion and depth within their characters. According to Maximilian Miller, I could be butchering that, ultimately, Lady Dimitresque embodies a blend of fear and admiration within the Resident Evil Village narrative. Players are drawn to her character's complexities, yet repulsed by her actions. This duality creates a rich tapestry of emotions that enhance the horror experience. As players navigate her world of despair and decadence, they're invited to reflect on their own responses to fear and power, making their journey through the game both thrilling and foreboding. Harold Goldberg from the Washington Post shares, "She is captivating both for her size, but for her charming qualities as well, sporting a fashionable wide-brimmed chapeau and Hollywood-style makeup. She's clearly ready for her close-up with your throat.
Of course, Mother.
She carries herself with utmost confidence," Sato said. "You'll often see her smiling because she knows she literally towers over anybody else in the room. But there's more to her. There's an intelligence, a conviction, and a sense of purpose. There is more than a lust for blood, even if her desires are self-centered."
Well, well. Didn't think anyone was left. You must be pretty tough. Huh.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, you're not local. Even better. Mother Miranda's gonna love you.
You're better off than I thought.
Manuel Escobar shared that some major fans of the game speculate and hope for a DLC in which Karl Heisenberg comes back to the game for revenge, or at least just for an extended amount of time.
I'll give you that, Ethan. But what's the plan when you have all 4 flasks?
What are you trying to get at?
I could lend you a hand.
Trying to get on my good side?
Now don't get cocky. I'd kill you if you weren't worth the trouble.
The characters Heisenberg and Lady D are both extremely well written and acted. There's so much more than two-dimensional villains that are so often seen in video games. When antagonists are written as more than just bad, this is when we love them, when they become relatable and interesting to watch and interact with. Remember the ingredients required for the perfect villain we discussed earlier? Yeah, let's recap. Believable motivation, proactivity, power, immorality, tragedy, madness, and empathy, which is optional.
Wrapped up. I'll lend you a hand. So in exchange...
In exchange what?
Lady D is a perfect villain due to her believable and clear motivation to serve Mother Miranda, and then her need for justice and revenge after we kill her daughters. She's extremely proactive in her pursuit of the player, stalking us in every room except the lovely safe room. She's a very powerful woman, being over 6 feet, and those long claws are super deadly. Her transformed state is even more powerful, as a dragon with the ability to fly and the strength of such a large creature. Alcina is immoral in many of her decisions and way of life, as seen by the notes left by servants and the way her daughters display violence. We know Lady D must drink blood to survive, due to her blood disorder before the infection of the mold and the Cadeau parasite. However, her morals are still highly skewed. She experiences tragedy with the death of her daughters, which is our fault. Some may argue that we were doing so in self-defense. However, they were also acting in self-defense in some regard. Lady D is controlled by Mother Miranda and is forced to deal with Ethan after he escapes Karl's maze. Miranda does not assist in any way. Alcina Dimitresque displays madness throughout the game, mostly due to the mold and Cadeau infections. She can be seen drinking the blood of Ethan and actively chases him throughout the mansion. She shows little to no empathy towards Ethan, however, often calling him a man thing.
Last time, you freak, I swear to God!
Now, on to Karl Heisenberg. Karl embodies all the aspects of a perfect villain. His motivation, when we are first introduced to him, appeared to be to Mother Miranda as well. However, they quickly change when we encounter him again, without the presence of the other lords and Miranda. His motivation, his true motivation, is to kill Mother Miranda and obtain his freedom from the chains she binds him with.
Last chance. You don't want to find out what's in that hole.
I'll take my chances.
You're fury.
Oh, Ethan. Such a disappointment. I thought we could join forces against that bitch Miranda. Truly disappointing. She took me. Took us to be her children. She locked us away in the village. Decades of being forced to serve her. Can you even understand that humiliation? I'm not like my siblings. I want nothing more than to...
But not only does he want his freedom, he wants his revenge for the way she kidnapped him and used him as a weapon. Karl is extremely proactive, perhaps even more so than Mother Miranda. Some speculate that Karl created the maze in the beginning of the game to simply be for show and to allow Winters to escape relatively unharmed. Karl's power lies not only with his electromagnetic powers, much like the eel, but also with his genius. He taught himself bioengineering and creates Frankenstein-esque monsters with corpses and Cadeau parasites. We know this because of the voice recordings we can encounter throughout his factory. He's a highly intelligent man even without the powers of the Cadeau. Heisenberg's immorality is highlighted when he confronts a player and unveils his plan to use Ethan's young child to kill Mother Miranda. He is so blinded by his hatred toward Miranda, he can't even understand that that is exactly what Mother Miranda did to him. Ethan, of course, refuses. Karl's tragedy is a loss of control, feeling used and abandoned. He knows Miranda is merely using the lords as pawn to get her own daughter Ava back. He's a genius who had the right idea, just didn't have the social skills or self-awareness to understand why Ethan didn't want to work together. After all, he did hole himself up in the factory most of the time, alone with just his creations. Which brings us to madness. Karl Heisenberg is very clearly mad. Neil Newbon, his voice actor, even states during an interview with Jinx TV. And then I thought, well, he's also kind of nuts. He's kind of wild because he's trapped. He's going crazy, kind of trapped in the situation. He cannot escape, but he's now immortal. And he's tinkering in a workshop, but he's just like, mad scientist kind of thing. So who do I know that I could riff off of just a little bit and use as an inspiration? Nick Cage, because I can't work out if Nick Cage is the best actor ever, or if he's completely crazy, or both. It's really hard to tell with Nick Cage. He's so good and yet crazy and sometimes so wrong, I love it. Finally, we find ourselves face to face with Karl's empathy, which he does express to Ethan with his comment about surviving worse in America. He also attempts to inform Ethan that his entire situation is a test to see if he's strong enough to join Miranda's forces, just as he did. But his empathy is still lacking in that same conversation when he suggests using Rose to kill Miranda. The interactions between the player, Ethan Winters, and Lady D and Heisenberg are so very immersive. We watch Lady D mourn her daughters after we kill them, ironically to save our own. She says that they were made with blood and sweat, but never mentions tears, hinting to the fact that she adored raising and caring for them just like any other mother would. We see her rage when she transforms into a dragon. However, as stated by Harold Goldberg from the Washington Post, what you may not immediately see, Sato continued, is that she is also a very compassionate and caring mother that loves her daughters. She wants what's best, not only for herself, but for her daughters. The exquisite and regal interior of Castle Dimitresque truly depicts her sense of self-worth, and that she and her family stand above everyone else.
No! I'm an army! I'll murder that boulder-punching asshole! But you're first!
Sato Morimasa, Capcom's director, also shares that the Castle Dimitresque was created to center around sensuality and eroticism, which is very evident throughout this location, with lavish and expensive fabrics and textures to the elaborate crown moldings on the walls and ceilings. Castle Dimitresque truly is a beautiful and sensual location within such a dark and desolate village. Karl's interactions are even more complex and compelling, directly propositioning the player to join him to take down Mother Miranda together. Even after being rejected by the player, Karl doesn't kill us, merely shoves us into a hole. He then tells us to stay out of his way as he transforms the next time we encounter him, intending to kill Mother Miranda himself. He even calls himself a freedom fighter during the battle with Winters. Neurolodge shared an article in the personality and leadership category of their website stating, Heisenberg's impact on the Resident Evil franchise is significant, pushing the boundaries of what players expect from antagonists in the series. His character adds layers of moral ambiguity and philosophical depth to the narrative, elevating the storytelling to new heights. All in all, these characters were revolutionary to the contribution of interesting and, dare I say, lovable antagonists within video games, with charismatic voice actors, complex character development, and compelling interactions with the player. And with that, we'll wrap up our vlog. Thank you for listening. The clock is ticking, Ethan. Playtime's over.
This can't be the end for me! I must kill